Frizzy.
Streets.
Wait,
I've been there.
That's something you would do.
Streets. That was me when I used to be in the streets. So we are raw in the streets. I used to be raw in the streets.
Now you're from the street, so you're like, no, now you
those
stay
are my
alone.
colleagues.
Those are your colleagues.
No, those are your former colleagues.
Former colleagues.
Yeah.
No, but let me welcome back to your favorite talk show, your favorite podcast, Fireside Podcast. It's even start now, so. All right, well, today we'll have a very interesting topic, which is submission. What does submission mean in an African relationship in the US? Because that's our context all the time. What does submission mean in an African relationship in the US? What does it mean to be a submissive wife, a submissive husband, a submissive man, or whatever you want to think it? So, of course, today with me, I have my regular guests on the show to discuss this topic. We have our fine girl, Norma, normalistic Norma. What's going on? Tibo, you boo Norma. What do you want person?
I wait till Monday.
We get our chief consultant, Wally. Wally. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, brother.
Okay, good. We have my studio person who avoid me all the time. Frizzabel.
We in the house.
Of course, we have Mandy in the building. What's up?
The one and only.
The one and only. Little backdrop just so we could have a debate moving. I was watching this post today on TikTok, and this girl was like, in the movie Romeo and Juliet, Romeo died for love. In the Bible, Samson died for love with Delilah. Jesus Christ died for love. And what's it called? The movie Titanic, DiCaprio died for love. But there's no movie where we could see a woman that actually dies for love. So long story short is the Bible actually instructs men, for those people who are Christian, that the man should love the church to love his woman the way Christ loved the church. And it instructs women to be submissive to their husbands. So tonight, I want to understand with the panel what it means to be a submissive wife or a submissive partner in a relationship. So I'll start with Frizzabel. Wally, more for you to get and talk before we start talk, before they say we oppress them. So let's start with the girls on the stage. So Frizzabel, let's hear your understanding of what it means to be a submissive woman in a relationship.
Oof, it's a big topic. Well, for me, I would say to be submissive, it starts from within.
Okay.
Because normally, if you're a submissive person, regardless of who you are with, you be submissive.
Okay.
So it starts from within. Then culturally, we African women are taught to be submissive.
Are you?
I am.
Oh. Okay.
Trust me, I'm a very submissive. So.
Okay. Well, again, because this goes beyond within, right? Because for you to be submissive, they have to be objective factors we can all agree on.
But like it starts within though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by within?
So what I mean by submissive is just like if you're a submissive person, like when you say something you do and you don't. If you're with this person, you don't go outside of that.
Okay.
It's either you're with this person or you're not.
Okay.
So you stick with what you know, or you stick with what you have.
So your submission for you is what? Being faithful is being with one person? Is that how you view submission? Okay. Okay, well, that's a good angle, though. So let me hear, Mandy, what do you understand? What do you understand by submission based on your experience and based on your context?
Well, if you started off by being biblical. So if you go back to biblical, the woman was created from the rib of the man. So women, I believe, in a relationship are supposed to support their husband.
Okay.
So I think submission, I think it gets kind of a bad rap. I think society today makes it very domineering and almost abusive, and submission isn't about that. I think it's about trust, and I think that's a big place that it starts. If you don't trust your partner, you're not going to want to be submissive to them. And so I think it's like an equation between the respect that a man gives to a woman, and then the woman will be submissive. Okay. But in there, it all is really dependent on trust. You have to trust each other.
So you're saying there's no trust, no submission? Is that your understanding?
I mean, I think being submissive would be very hard if you didn't trust your partner.
Okay.
I think it would cause problems. I'm not saying you can't be submissive if you don't trust them, because I think there's always room to grow or build or rebuild. I mean, no relationship is perfect. But yeah, when there's not trust, I think it's really hard.
Yeah.
It tips the balance.
Okay, so well, our favorite fine girl. What is submission for you?
I think submission is the woman being able to let the man lead. But then it goes
Deep.
back to trust. I have to trust that you can
You
lead
talk
me.
fancy, they can spoil them
No,
again.
it's for so I always say, like, if you're in a relationship, for a woman, treat your husband with the respect, or your partner with the respect you give your father, and cater
Yeah,
to him
that's
the
true.
same way you cater to your child. But that person has to deserve it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, too many people take advantage of. They want a doormat. Like the average African man, their idea of submission is a doormat. You can't have a
How can you
backbone. You
speak for
can't.
African men when you have two on the stage? Let's speak for ourselves. Why are
How
you
can I
speaking for
speak for myself
speak?
if
Why are
I'm
you speaking for
speaking?
African men? You said the
Because
average
for
African
a
men
woman to be submissive, the man has to make, like, you have to. She said you have to be able to
trust.
trust him.
Yeah.
Yes, it's more
No,
than
because
trust.
you said the average African man wants a doormat.
That is
I'm like,
because
we have men on stage
the
that
moment the woman speaks up, the moment the woman has a say or has a backbone, she's not submissive in their head. Anyways, let me answer the question. Submission is being able.
no
as
man,
a
this is
woman-
cafe we get agenda tonight.
Submission is being able to let the man lead and
Lead,
trust
I
that he
trust
will lead you
you lead
correctly.
correctly. Okay.
Yes.
When Wally, we don't hear it from talking about submission being faithful to your man, submission being able to trust, and submission being able to let your man lead and those head of family. Man, hear the man picking. What as if you be tying yourself. So what does it mean to be submissive in your understanding?
Yeah. So when I talk about things like this, my approach of things, I like to first of all really make sure we understand the meaning of what we're
Of
talking
course,
about,
yeah.
right? And what it actually means can be different from what people think. Different people can think different things, but what it actually means. So, in the context of what we're talking about, submissiveness in a relationship, maybe specifically like being a wife, from as in an African context. Essentially, it is basically a voluntary, respectful way of the woman working with the husband to fulfill the husband's dream for the family. So it is very important to understand that it is voluntary, supposed to be anyway, it's supposed to be voluntary, and it's a respectful way of doing it. And the key there also is that it is regarding the vision of the husband for the family, right? For the relationship, because we've already established the roles, the husband being the head of household and stuff like that. Now, from hearing, everybody that has spoken, it is very easy for people to start putting conditions. If you are submissive only as long as,
There you go.
that is not submissiveness.
You're doing very well.
That is called conditional submissiveness.
Oh, Lekushaga.
Now, I happened to listen to something on this topic recently, and it was a very interesting take. And this person actually had a word for it. It's a woman, surprisingly.
Oh,
Not
wow.
surprisingly, but it's a woman. And, this is her perspective. She literally says, conditional submissiveness is witchcraft in disguise.
That's deep.
And
Deep.
yeah, and I thought about that for a second. I was like, you know what? That's what because it's so easy to say, oh, the woman, I'll only be submissive only as long as the husband does this, the husband does that, the guy does this, then I will be submissive, right? That is not submissiveness.
It's not. I agree with you on that.
It has to, and you put it the right way. It has to come from within. It's something that is from the heart, right? It should not be conditional. It should not be based on just how you feel or anything like that. It's a specific role, a specific way that the person is. And when you have to, you become that person.
Yeah.
It should not change depending on the condition.
And I think I like that angle, Wally. Before they say we don't take talk for 2 hours, I think I actually agree with you a lot on that because I feel like, and I always say these things all the time, and I always say the Bible, for those again who are Christians, say that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right, and obtains favor from the Lord. It didn't say he who finds a woman. What that means for me is that that woman was a wife before you met her. The ring did not make her a wife. The wedding didn't make her a wife. She was ordained to be a wife before you met her. So she had those characteristics of being a wife. That's why I say he who finds a wife, not he who finds a woman. Because there are women that are ordained to be side chicks. They have no business being women, being wives. They have no business being in people's wives and people's household. So I'm thinking that conditional submission is what most women try to implement,
Right.
and eventually it doesn't work out the way it is. Because men are like, well, maybe today I'm broke, maybe tomorrow I'm rich. Then how does that work out? So Norma, let me take on what Wally just said about conditional submissiveness. That it depends on, okay, if you do this, then I'll be submissive. If you do that,
I still think women are naturally made to be that, because we're naturally we have to let the men lead. It's not even something you learn. If your partner is doing his duty as a man, it becomes an automatic thing. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. It's both ways, right? It's no natuna.
okay,
So it's not. I don't think it's conditional. If it is conditional, that means that person doesn't have it in them to be a submissive person. Then are the side chick one. Then that the ones that I can't deny it. I mean, some women just don't have it in them. My gender, we're crazy.
yes,
I can't deny that. But the women that really know how to be women and want to be women, they do it naturally. But then when you realize that this person is manipulative and taking advantage of you and abusing it, you lose it. That's not being conditional. You're human. So you stop doing those things. Unless it be mumu.
Yeah.
Mandy, you go.
Well, I just think that women, yes, I agree. Women are naturally
Built.
built to be submissive. However, I'm not just going to be submissive to anyone. It doesn't mean you can just put any man in front of me and I will be their wife. You know, you have to find that person who respects you. And as much as I like to play both sides of things, I will say I do think that men have a role in having ruined submissiveness in a lot of ways, because there are some men who don't take their leadership role as a leader, they take it as a dictator. I'm going to tell you to do this and you do it without asking. And for me, I don't feel like being submissive means you don't have an input. It means that you choose when to have
No,
an
I don't
input.
have an answer. Sorry, fear.
Because I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
So
You have to choose
Yeah.
when to speak your mind. That doesn't mean you speak your mind and embarrass your man, or you argue with him in public or whatever, but maybe you do have an opinion on something, and you do it at the appropriate time, and that doesn't make it conditional. I'm not saying I will be a wife if you first act like a
No, the
husband,
question is
or
not being wife, it's being submissive.
well, okay,
Because there are girlfriends that are not submissive. So it's not only about being wife, it's about being in a
but
relationship.
I still stand by. I'm not going to be submissive to a man that doesn't respect me. I just wouldn't be with them.
Okay. Freezy. Freezable. Freezylistic Freezy. So you did for that club for conditional submissiveness, the way Wally described him, or what do you think?
No, I agree with his point. It has to come from within.
Okay.
Because normally, people will not change who you are.
Of course.
If
yeah.
you're a submissive person within, you always remain. People will act in who they are, but you can also take yourself out of that situation or away from that. It's just like if you're grown to be submissive and there's somebody like or giving conditions and stuff, you can always take yourself out, not to change for them. So
Yeah. And before you get a rebuttal, I think for me the funny thing is that when I hear them talk, the thing is, it still boils down to the conditional submissiveness. Because what I would say is, what if men would say, "I'll be a man only if you are submissive"? Then at the end of the day, we keep going like a merry-go-round in
Yeah.
circle, right? What if I say, okay, well, I'll be a provider and a protector only if you do that, only if you do that. So I feel like you said, it has to be within. It has to be who you are as a person. It doesn't come with terms and conditions that apply. It's just who you are as a person. Wally.
Yeah, I think we just have to be very clear about things. We are not talking about, the extreme situations. We're not talking
Clearly,
about
yep,
it.
thank
It
you,
is
yeah.
some men don't play their role as men.
Clearly,
That's
yep,
a fact.
established.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think this conversation is about that.
Exactly, at all. Yep,
So
yep.
we are just talking about what does it mean to be submissive, right? So the moment you say, "Oh, you stop playing your role, you stop doing the things that you're doing because he is acting this way or acting that way, he's not doing this, then we can all agree you have ceased from being submissive. You're ceased from doing that. And if that is if being submissive is a requirement of your role as a wife, for example, then you might as well say you have ceased from being a wife. The moment you act that way, right? That's what we're talking about. So as long as we're trying to understand what that means, we're just saying that to be submissive is a specific way of being in a relationship with your partner. And I will agree with you on some things. You are not, like you said, you're not just going to be submissive to just
anyone. Yeah.
And that's a fact. That's true, because not every woman can be a wife to every man.
That's hard.
Not every woman can be a wife to every man.
That's deep.
As a matter of fact,
That's deep.
it is said that women before marriage, the best you can do is prepare yourself to be a wife. You are not the wife of a specific person until you're married to that person. So who you are as a woman and what you do when you're aspiring to be married to somebody, what everything that you do is very general. The moment you become a wife, that you have to then step in your role. What that means is you have to look at the person you're with. Hopefully you've done your due diligence and this is someone you have, you've has met some criteria and you guys connect and everything. But then the work starts there. Your role starts there, your submissiveness starts there. So that's when you start learning, okay, what are his ambitions? What does he, where is he heading us to? And then you start figuring out all these things and then put yourself in that position to lead, not lead, but to help him achieve that goal, right?
Yeah.
And being submissive is part of that. It is not as one or two or three things that everybody knows you have to do. No, it is specific to a man.
To a man, yeah.
And
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
every people can be different. What my wife can do to me and that makes me feel like she's submissive can be very different from what his wife can do to him to make him feel submissive, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like the key things that have to be part of all this is it has to be voluntary, it has to be respectful, it has to be active. Like you have to be actively be aware and doing these things. And it's not conditional on whether he does this or does that or not, because the moment you start putting that condition on it, then it stopped. You're no longer submissive, and so you can that's out the window, and then anything can happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like that actually is a cause of a lot of the issues that people get in a relationship.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, I think that's actually some very true too. But the one thing that keeps crossing my mind is, will most women be submissive if they're the providers in their household? Because again, it's a very specific context. Because usually we come from Africa, most of us do, and we come from a context where the father is known to be the provider. So it's like a no-brainer. So now we're in the US, we're in Germany, we're in Belgium, we're in France, in Canada, and we have women that probably out-earn their men, which is totally fine, But will that woman still be submissive in a scenario where she out-earns her husband and she's the main provider for the family?
That's a very good question, and I bet to say that it will be a test. It will be a true test to this question of submissiveness.
Thank you.
So you guys,
so
go
let
ahead.
me hear Freezy. Freezy, by the way, he make money. So let's hear how.
For me, I feel like it's a 70-30.
Put your mic closer to you. There you go.
For me, I feel like it's a 70-30 because it's some women will not. Some women will.
Well, we're going with the average, right? We're going if you pick 10 women, 7 will say yes. We're going with the average. 5 or 6 will say yes or no. We're working on the average.
I'll say
not
7
on
to
extremes.
3 or 70-30.
So most will submit or most will not.
Most will not.
Jesus.
Okay.
Most will not.
If they out-earn their husbands or their partners, they won't submit. Why?
A lot would, knowing that this is like in this generation, some will not. But back in the days and like few years ago,
Of course, it didn't matter. The women would like be quiet and nobody would even
Yeah.
know that. Yeah.
But
so
now-
if you have someone that works at Walmart,
this
back to this Walmart
Back to
again.
this
The
Walmart.
famous Walmart.
This is the famous Walmart.
Leave those poor people alone.
If we have our famous Walmart, again, hey, Walmart, one spirit. But again, if you have someone that is a greeter, a Walmart that makes 15 an hour, and then let's say you are a pharmacist, so will you submit to that person?
It depends.
On what?
It depends if he is willing. Okay, I wouldn't say willing. If he's aspiring to be more than that.
Okay, you sound
Yeah.
like Norman.
Norman.
Norman do the
I knew
corrupt.
this was gonna come up. I knew this was
Norman
gonna
do
come
the
up.
corrupt my stage. Norman the
But-
corrupt people them back to back, one
Okay,
on
a
one.
guy that works, greeting people at Walmart, he wouldn't just want to be there for the rest of his life, or just be that. In an African man, he'll be like, oh, my wife is doing this, at least I need to elevate myself to want to meet her.
Meet her, okay.
But if his mind is so low that he just want to remain there,
well,
I don't feel he should. There's that.
So
equality.
again, you have that conditional submission, right? So your submission to a man is he has to earn more than you. You see how
That's the condition.
You guys have been
There you go.
dishonest the
No,
whole time.
in this part,
You have been
she
dishonest from
can
beginning.
she will be submissive if he that if he is willing to not just stay there, his mind is exploring to want to
He's
grow.
ambitious. He's trying to
Yeah.
grow. Again, you're coming back to the same point. It means again, you guys were all being disingenuous when we were talking about submission. Because again, we've had a true test of submission, and you're like, well, it depends. Submission is unconditional. Normal, man, yeah, you now you be the doctrine, now you be the godmother, you be the 001 of this school of thought. So now let me hear you.
You said it's if you take 10 women, right? And you
Very,
ask
the
them,
average, yeah, it's the
now,
average.
these 10 women, are these the wife material women, or just 10 women mixing the
Just 10 women,
That
randomly.
makes it hard because
It's called
we're talking about
it's a sample. It's sample. You cannot
Well,
really
you're
determine.
saying, well, the whole topic of submission is
Yeah.
about wife material.
You're right.
Right, but
So
right,
so let's
right.
stick with that context. Within that
Okay.
context.
Okay,
yes.
yeah,
If
let's
it
go
is
wife.
wife material,
Yeah, okay.
the woman will still submit to her husband.
Yep.
Okay.
Because that mentality, if you want to be a wife, you know your husband is the leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much he earns doesn't matter.
Okay.
Now, if you put those my Oden side chick,
Those ordained side chicks. That's a whole different topic.
That's a different
Manzi,
topic.
let me hear you on that topic. If you earn your husband, and I know he works at the famous place and then makes what he makes, and will you still be submissive to that person?
Yes, but let me also say you're asking for averages and then picking the most extreme situation. That's
a good point.
I don't like that scenario. So, but yes, I think in a situation where maybe they both have sort of similar jobs, I mean that's more of a reasonable scenario. But it doesn't really matter to me. Yes, I would, because submissiveness is supporting and encouraging your husband to be your protector and your provider, and then encouraging and allowing him to be that. And so if I were to be in a scenario where I out-earned my husband, I don't think I would let anybody know that I out-earned my husband. I wouldn't want them to know that. I want people to think that my husband is providing and leading in every way. And I think that a wife who is submissive wants their husband. It's an ego thing for men too, and women have to understand that that's really important. Once you hit that ego, there's not a lot coming back from that.
Yeah.
And so you have to protect that.
Yeah, that's true. When Wally,
So let me ask you this, to that point that you just made. Okay, so very good. You won't let people know that. But what about inside the home? How would
would you let him know that?
Yeah, how would you
No,
Yeah, that's a good
manage?
point.
What would be the dynamics in the house?
Yeah.
No, but again, you don't want to factor in what I said earlier about respect, and I think respect goes back to validating that I do have an input and I choose when to have it. And that doesn't mean that I'm submissive only if I agree with you. It just means that you validate the conversation, and then as a submissive wife, even if I don't agree with you, I still submit to you.
That's good.
But you are respectful enough to have the conversation and respect my input. not just say, well, it doesn't really matter what you think because you're going to submit to me anyway. You know, because a leader will take into consideration the people who are inputting into the equation. And if you're out earning him, you know, it makes sense to consider somebody's input.
Yeah, okay. You know, and I was just reading an article before the show, and I learned that that's one of the core issues in most relationships. You know, when for African men, let me put it in context, because most people, we have like certain cultural values and north star that we grew up watching our parents and watch our dads and our mothers in certain scenarios. So when we move into a different context like the US or Canada or anywhere where you find yourself, and that dynamic is a little bit different. The men feel very uncomfortable, and the women tend to exploit in quotes. Let me not say exploit in quotes that discomfort. You know, because most men are used to be like, hey, provide that they work hard, they do what they have to do, pay the rent, take care of the children and everything. You know, send their wives to school and all that. At the end of the day, if the woman starts out earning the man, they start looking down on the man. What advice do we have for people that are in scenarios where the husband feels like he's being not respected, he's not the head of the household, he doesn't feel like his wife is submissive? Or another question is, can men be submissive to their wives for us to have a perfect balance in a relationship? You know, it could go both ways. I'm not saying it has to be one way, but for me, being a Christian and being everything, we know how it works. So, Norma, can men be submissive to their wives, and how do you advise people that have different dynamics?
I don't think that the term for men is submission. I think men just have to respect their wives and know that even though they're women, because some men just think, oh, because you're a woman, you don't know as much as you don't know better than I do.
What do you
right?
mean, know right to what? Because I think that Mandy knows better than I do. A lot of things.
Okay.
Scheduling, running the house, the town. She knows so many things I have no clue.
But
So
that's you, right?
yeah.
That's why you're a husband.
Yeah.
Okay. The ones that come into relationships as they come in like it's a competition. Some people treat their partners like it's a competition. Like, how can you be the one to have the last say? I'm the man. I have to have the last say. It's not a competition.
On everything.
Some do that.
It's not
But
possible.
that goes back to ego, like I said.
You can't have a last say on
Ego.
everything. It's just
Some do that.
it's exhausting. It's not even sustainable.
Some do that.
Wow.
So you have to me, respect your woman. That's where your submission comes in as a man. It's not. I don't like the word submission for a man, because you lead. If you're leading, you cannot be submissive.
Le coup shaga.
So just lead correctly, respect your partner, listen to her ideas, trust her ideas.
So if you were to have criteria for a man that you could, because you guys say it depends, you have to earn their trust. If you had a criteria, a checkbook for a man that you think you could submit it to that person, what would they need to do?
I should be able to shut my brain when I'm next to you.
Yes.
That means
Yeah.
I trust you so much that if you say, well, eating stone today, that stone is retreating, right? Okay. I don't have to think.
Oh, wow.
And that just comes with how you act. It's not even something that I have to
Exactly,
say.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I will submit to you. I will want to submit to you. It won't even be a struggle.
Okay.
Even in its simplest sense, like you just said, you know, all the things that I focus on in our relationship, but when we go in public, sometimes I don't even remember where we parked the car. If you're driving, I don't want to have to think about it. I just want you to lead me. I just want you to, like, you know where we're going. You picked it. You're taking me there. You're gonna keep track of me. You know, women want women want that. Yeah, you just want to be able to turn your brain off and just know your man's got you.
Yes.
Okay. What else? Just turn your brain off. Any other criteria you look for in someone you want to submit to, or a man you want to submit to?
I mean, I feel like if you're turning your brain off, that means you trust that person on
Enough.
every level.
Okay,
So it takes care of everything.
Fair
else.
enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
To turning your brain off is just to feel safe.
Cool.
So you want to turn your brain on and just feel safe and just
Enjoy
not want to
moment.
do anything. Just have him just just be like, okay, where we're going, what we're doing, what are we doing today, this, and then if he leads, then you follow.
Okay.
Where he's wrong, you just like we're right hand.
To lead, you require somebody that follows, And I remember one time I was in secondary school back in CPC Bali, and I walked into the chapel and I saw the senior prefect's Bible, and she wrote on the Bible with her pen. And
the good shaga.
You take me play, I play with me. I'll be real far. Namandi can't derail me. I was going to church to be a father, but people like they just took me away, but it's fine. So she wrote on the Bible like with a pencil. She was like, hey, with a pen, she was like, be humble enough to follow, because one day you will lead. And inside that way, you didn't know what see. You claim say you straw
Yes.
all man. Dude, that stuff for me was very humbling. Because next semester they made me a prefect and all that. I'm like, that word was like ringing a bell in my head. That be humble enough to follow, because one day you will lead. So but the way I hear you girls, it's like there's no humility in you following. Your follow is conditional. So Wally, you all heard them talk.
No, we didn't say that.
But you guys were like, if you need to follow. So if
At one point, he talked about we start putting terms and conditions. We don't start putting terms and conditions. We automatically change based on how the man acts as a man.
That's the condition.
that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
No. I think we started off looking at it from a distance, but you said you wanted us to dig into, okay, just as a wife in the relationship, we're not talking about the extremes where people abuse the submission and
Of
things
course,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So of course there's conditions. I'm not going to be submissive to somebody who's disrespectful, like
Right.
abusive in that way. So
Yeah,
we got
put
past
hands on
that.
you and
So
all
when
that.
you move in, I mean, what condition did I put on being submissive?
No, not you, but you.
But
you guys were like, if
I
you
don't
do
think
this,
anybody did.
No, it's like if you lead, we will follow.
Yes.
Just
Freeze,
lead.
you use your microphone. There you go. You want to hear a fine voice?
Just
use your mic.
lead, and we will follow.
follow,
Like
okay.
there's no terms. It's like show us the way.
Show us the way.
And
okay?
even Norma said the finances weren't an issue. Like,
Yeah.
she still wants a man to lead. I don't think there's as many
Wally.
conditions.
Yeah. Listening to everybody talking, it just keeps taking me to one thing. The issues that we face, if you trace it, you go all the way to the beginning. You will see something. When you guys got into that relationship, you see, that is the issue. So there were so many things already wrong before you got into that relationship. And so when you start seeing, okay, he's doing this, he's doing that, and I'm not gonna, all that started before you got in the relationship. And so it's just manifesting then, you see. So if things are done the right way, then before you get into the relationship, when I say the right way, this is what I mean. If we go back home, like traditionally how it used to be, parents look for your wife and bring to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if that's the context, then that unconditional submissiveness applies for the perfect 100%. They brought you to this man to be his wife.
His wife,
And
correct.
so
Yeah.
you listen to him, you follow him, you do what he says. That's it. Now, if you are educated as a woman, if you have some level of education and you feel like, okay, you know some things and you have some input and everything like that, that's okay. Even if you are brought to that man in the same way, but you are educated and you know a lot of things, you feel like you have some input, that's okay. It does not remove that submissiveness. What that means in that situation is you then have to understand how you bring those things to him, how you provide your input. And especially even if you out earn him or or anything like that, you have to always at the back of your mind understand your role, the submissiveness for that relationship to work. And even if it's a suggestion, even if you want him to do, you have to go back. You have to always figure out a way to put it such that you are behind.
I think I like that. Yeah.
Now that's that context. Now in a situation where both of you, are educated, you date, and then you're coming together, that's a whole different scenario. Now, and I'm talking now more of the modern situation now, right? This is the moment when you really take the time to talk about you guys' likes and dislikes, your future, your goals and everything, and you really feel like you align with someone and like you really feel this person, you connect with them, and you understand why you're with them before you get into that commitment. And once you get into that commitment, at the back of your mind, you have to understand. The moment you become a wife, you have to know that, okay, a number of things will happen. The man that he was when you guys were dating is no longer going to be that man.
Why is that?
Because when he becomes a husband, his role before he was married, he was not a husband. You guys were dating. You talk in a different level, right? Here, the moment he becomes a husband, that is a different institution. Your wife, I'm a husband. What does that mean? He has a responsibility. He has a duty. He has to execute.
Correct. Yeah.
And so the wife also, the woman also has to take her own role. She has a responsibility. She has a duty to the man. And so as long as everybody understands their role and they set into it, things will work. And that's why I keep going back to, you always talk about roles, right? She always talks about roles. It's very, very critical.
Yep, all the time.
All these things that we're talking about that ends up happening about conditional, this, I'll only do this as long as, he's abusive. These things happen because people came together for the wrong reasons.
True. Okay.
They were not ready. They didn't even understand why they were coming together, emotions, everything, and they just came together, and then they start discovering it in the relationship. That's why.
So I think
so go on. No, sorry, go on. You're good.
do I think kind of what I'm hearing you saying is like those conditional things that you have to work out are kind of what happens when you're dating. You have to make sure that the person respects you. You have to make sure that they want somebody who's submissive. But then when you decide, okay, this is what I'm looking for, and then you're talking about within marriage, you've already decided to be submissive. You've already decided the person is is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So before you get into that union, right? You already, the man, the guy already has to have seen that this woman has the ability to act that way, to be that person. And the woman has to already have seen this man as the man that she can be that way too.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Yeah.
So
what you're saying.
Otherwise, a lot of trouble, man.
Okay, well, again, I'm glad we're able to agree on that. Before we round up this topic, I have a fun topic to discuss quickly. No matter any words about this topic, or we're good. Let's move on. Anything you want to add, Freezy?
I shut my brain off.
Sure.
She just wants to shut her brain off and enjoy and let the man lead.
Soft life.
I know, right? Soft life. I hate soft life. Let's just say that now. I'll find you on stage. Soft life, But I did a video today talking about the kind of girls that guys should avoid. So I'm just gonna do a quick segment. We'll add it to this at the end, just so we know.
I like this one because I saw that video.
This go long.
So I just want us to talk about that briefly, so we'll add it to our channel so people could know we have content out there. I said number one, girls that have besties that are boys, they're for the streets. Any girl that has a bestie that is a boy, guys should avoid them. Let me get your thoughts on that. Let me start with Freezy. It's a fun topic, so sharp. It's not a big deal.
Anyways.
Girls that have besties that are boys and they have a boyfriend or a husband, they're just for the streets.
True. For the streets.
Oh, you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, it depends. If you have a best friend that's a boy and you guys are your partner and you guys are dating, it depends. If you guys go a long way, that you guys grow up together as brothers and sisters, but you guys are best friends, maybe. But when it goes to where you guys are getting serious with your partner, then you start limiting, you start cutting, there are things you need to cut off from that person.
Do you think it's genuinely possible for a guy to have a best friend that's a girl? Like genuinely?
Yes.
Who? Okay. Who, a guy or girl?
For a girl, both ways, like a girl to have a best friend that's a guy. A guy with a best friend that's a girl. Like I could tell my wife, hey, I have my best friend is Freezy. My best friend is normal. Which normal south. I'll switch tomorrow morning. So just think about that. But so you're like, it depends, right?
Yeah, it depends, but I think it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So she's not for the so she's not for the streets, or what? Because it has to be one of them. You can't have it both ways. It doesn't depend on this question. If a girl has a best friend that's a boy, is she for the streets or not?
She's for the streets.
Perfect. No, mama, I take.
If she's married or in a relationship.
Committed relationship, married. Yeah.
She has no business having a male friend.
The best friend as a male.
Wait.
Yeah. Not even a platonic.
You don't mean it? No, but you're doing very well.
Friend, because to me
that's a stretch.
Disrespectful to your partner.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want him to have a bestie female.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
why would I be having
the bestie male? Thank you. Yep.
I mean, if you have a partner, no. Your best friend should be your partner. If you cannot be my best friend, then we should not be together.
I thought I did with you. When Wally.
Oh, this is simple, man. it's a straightforward thing. No, that's a no-go. If you are in a committed relationship your best friend cannot be of the opposite sex. It doesn't work.
Why doesn't it work? Why not?
Okay. So
Yeah, let me understand your I know what for me, I know what, but I don't want to assume.
how do you nature? Nature.
Le Kushaga.
Nature. So check this out. I watched a video recently, right? There was this exact same question that you're asking, that about whether a guy can be a girl's best friend, and the girl was arguing, oh yeah, like nothing, platonic, purely nothing, and other guy was like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Like that.
They put it to test.
Are you serious? The call.
He's like, take your phone,
Speaker.
call your best friend. He tell the girl to call his best friend. To call her best
Our
friend.
best friend was a guy, yeah.
Who was a guy? Calls him. Would like to go on a date. What date?
Yeah.
Date? What? What kind of date? Like a date?
Okay, date.
This guy within seconds.
Yeah, he was like, all right, let me get
Okay,
ready.
fine. That's it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%.
It does not work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't
I
work.
even have a different one, pretty much the same thing, where they put it to test and they ask the girl, okay, call your best friend, put it on speaker, tell him you're alone and you need some attention.
There you go.
You know, and she put it on speaker and she called the guy. She's like, hey, Bessie, I'm all by myself, blah blah. I'm feeling some kind of way. Could you come over? The girl was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, just come. I just want to hug and do some little bit of stuff. And the girl, like, okay, I'm on my way. Like without even blinking, someone that she's never even had sex with or talk without even blinking on the phone, on TV, on live TV. The girl was like, I'm on my way.
Now, there's a caveat. Let's not confuse that though with another situation where there are a lot of women who they have a hard time like really having a close, tight relationship with women, but
Those are
they can
extremes.
have that with a
No.
guy.
Those are
Then there's
extremes.
nothing going on.
Yeah, no.
That is fine. That's normal.
Those are
That happens.
yeah,
that is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the moment that you become entangled or engaged with a serious and relationship.
All right,
permanent
Mandy, let me hear your
relationship,
thoughts.
that doesn't work.
Bestie.
You said it was simple, but you made it very long. No, it's,
No.
It is
That's way
simple.
Wally for you.
It's a no, because either someone wants to try it
Exactly.
or they
yeah.
already did, and
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is just
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
So it doesn't work.
I mean, women can very well be friends with guys, and they have
Yes.
no
Yeah, just
Yeah,
plain.
it's possible, yeah.
Oh, so guys cannot be. Why you put your
I mean,
own?
I do
No, and
believe-
vice versa.
I don't even want to bring that on here because I feel like people
Yeah,
argue, but I
exactly.
believe that there are some guys that can be friends with women and they don't have.
Of course,
you
well,
know,
yeah.
they don't have
But on
plans.
the average, it's not the same.
Most people say, oh, the guy is just waiting for his turn.
But
What-
actually, that is true.
That is
No, I
true.
don't
Yeah,
believe it.
that is true.
I've had guy
It is
friends-
true.
I've had guy friends that all. they
No,
do
he's
is
waiting.
make-
No, man, he's waiting for his turn.
Okay, but
If you give him that guy's name, I'll tell you he's waiting for his turn right now.
See,
Somebody
there is a
wants
time
to-
I'll
limit to
tell
it.
you
have.
now.
There's a
nobody
limit
defend
to
you.
it. It's only a matter of time. There's a limit to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's only a matter
Because you
of time.
friend zone.
Agreed. I think when you're younger, like high school, college, sometimes people come into your life where you really are just friends for whatever reason, or you
Yep.
grew up together. But as you mature and as you get into a serious relationship, no, that doesn't
doesn't work.
exist.
Yeah,
doesn't work.
It doesn't exist.
Absolutely. Like even if I know that I want nothing from this guy, he's just a friend. If I am in a relationship, that friendship is dead.
Is that
Yeah.
Not completely dead, but it
Yeah, that's
there's
what
a
I mean.
big
Like,
distance.
it
Yes.
pulls off.
Yeah.
It goes.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
That's
Number
fine.
two. Sharp. No one can make it to be long past the main show. Number two. I said, girls that when you talk to your man and the man asks you, hey, what do you bring to the table? And say, the table is myself.
That's stupid.
They're for the street.
I agree.
Any
No,
girl
I don't give
say
you
the
answer.
table
No,
is
that's
myself.
stupid.
Because I've watched a lot of dude. It's like out there people are like, oh, I'm the table. Like I bring myself. I'm like, are you serious? Yourself. Where you've dated like 10 other guys. Yourself not for where you be. You've done the whole thing
shit.
yourself. Who cares about yourself? You bring yourself. What does that even mean? So for me, I'm like, those people they have nothing to offer to a relationship, and that's just for the streets. Frizzy, you my
No,
yourself.
that one is just it's just to the
Yourself don't
streets.
get value. Yourself, yeah.
It has
Yourself
value,
has value, but if you bring it to a man that is a high value, but that you like, the man will be like yourself. I could get it from anywhere else.
Yeah. No, that one is straight to the streets.
Okay. Well, easy, normal.
Yeah, no, that makes no sense. I mean, if you're saying yourself, what is yourself? Well, what do you bring? You have to bring something.
What is something that you could bring?
Yeah, you have to add value to the man's life in some way.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's more women out here than men. So why
Definitely, yeah.
you?
Why you?
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have
Like
that.
you have to be submissive
Hey,
unconditionally.
Lekusha. Well, see, person will go school. Luba will go school. Mandy, let me hear you on that. So, what do you think?
Yeah, no, that's for the streets. I think that is the kind of person who is argumentative, who doesn't see that
That's
there's
true, yeah.
anything that they need to work on.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to be submissive if that's what you're looking for.
Those are the ordained side chicks.
Hey,
There you go.
Makasataraba.
Yeah.
Another word for that is lazy. They're just
Vikaposoto.
lazy.
And I think people like that like to be alone, because if you are everything, then just why would you?
I
get
know,
involved?
right? Exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. When Wally, what do you think about those people?
I know
Same?
they're talking about. Oh no,
I trust
He
you. Didn't
kept it
waste
simple
time.
this time.
I kept it so short.
Okay, well, next one. Girls that you take out on dates to go have dinner or lunch, then they eat what their father has not bought for them before. They will eat food that they don't eat in their own house. Food that they cannot afford. They will buy a drink they cannot even afford for themselves. Those kind of girls that are for the streets. Frizzy, you must 0-0. We must start with you first.
Streets.
Frizzy,
Streets.
Frizzy.
Streets.
Wait,
I've been there.
That's something you would do.
Streets. That was me when I used to be in the streets. So we are raw. I used to be raw in the streets.
oh, now you're from the street, so you're like, no, now
so
you
those
stay
are my
alone.
colleagues.
Those are your colleagues.
No, those are your former colleagues.
Former colleagues.
Former colleagues, yeah.
No, man, let me hear you.
Wait, how do you first of all know she cannot afford it?
You just don't know. It's just good faith. You just assume that she couldn't afford it before
No,
that.
Norma is asking a good question though.
That's
because
true.
you're-
Well, no,
you're-
there's no way of knowing, right?
Yeah.
Knowing is like, well, she went to a restaurant. She had Roadhouse. She had like a 150, a tomahawk steak,
Okay,
and
there
then
is-
but she usually eats like a filet mignon. That's $40. A tomahawk steak is like $100. So you're like, that's what I mean,
The
pretty
reason
much.
I asked, like, how do you know she cannot afford is because what if it's someone that already has, she likes nice things? What are you
No,
taking on a
if you
date
can
with?
afford it, it's totally fine. If you can afford it on your dime,
Okay,
nobody
so-
is fine.
Okay, so if it's a girl, like, it's someone that's just trying to take advantage of you taking
That-
them.
Yeah,
that's the kind
that's
of-
for the street.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yep,
for the street,
that's
yeah.
what I mean. That's what I mean.
And those are the ones that will come with their friends and take to go.
You know,
Oh yeah, there you go.
streets, serious streets, yeah, serious streets. Mindy,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, streets.
with Wally.
Man, I mean, it's a
You
one
talk
and
to
done.
me,
It's a one and
if I
done thing.
cannot buy for you.
It's a one and done
It's a
thing.
one and
man.
done.
The one and done.
And finally, and this is very funny for me, but I'm like, I feel like if you carry a girl out, you go to the club, you guys are all dressed, leave the house together, you go to the club, and she start dancing, and people are creating space for her to dance. She's for the streets. I just cannot allow myself to have a girl that you're at the club at this stage, and people are like creating space. Say, I bet shift, and she's dancing.
Why are you
she's-
taking this thing
she's
personal now?
sweating. She's
Emma, why are you taking this thing personal?
sir. It's a devil. It's a devil. But again, for me, I feel like she's for the streets.
Yes.
You're taught Frizzy, and so you like for dance, you so.
Okay. I was about bringing that up. Okay. But what if, right, her, in the past, she used to be a dancer, right? But now she's like in her demure era. Then you guys go on a date or so to the club. Then she's dancing. Then people know her and come off and then, she's like, okay, you know what? Let's just go do a little demo. Stuff like that.
Her friends
Demo
from
for
the
we
streets.
Demo for we be. What are you demoing?
Okay.
What are you demoing? No, mama, hear you. That kind of dance where you dance. You say, yeah, but shift. Minimum do it dance.
No, if you have your man next to you, there's a kind of way you have to
Yeah,
act.
that's like.
There you go. Thank you.
If
That's
you're
pretty much
acting
what I'm
wild,
saying.
then that's from the street. Even
That's
if you
from-
want to be a little bit crazy and dance a little bit crazy, do it with your guy.
Exactly. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. That's
Yeah.
smart. Yep. Mind it, I know your answer already.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there are some girls that just are like goofy and like that they just like that.
Yeah,
But
and they
you can't be disrespectful. You can't be with another guy. I mean, yeah, you just gotta.
With Wally. Man, not saying you sweep your front. Say they clear space. More you care for her, similar good club.
Personal experience.
You see,
Sorry.
oh,
lots of
yes.
positive
Yes. No, I know. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely. That's why I said you got the catch of floor. Big first time. But again, that was back then. That was back in the days. That was back when he was in the streets before he got ordained
Wow.
and got married and left the streets. But yeah, what do you think?
No. I mean, you when you're in a committed relationship, you gotta respect yourself now. So you can't just go be all out there all willy nilly and just
Yeah, doing everything.
doing everything now.
I actually think that's a element of submissiveness, to be honest, behaving in a way that
Appropriately.
your man wants you
Wants
to
to be.
behave, wants you to present
that's-
yourself,
that's
dressing
smart. Yeah,
appropriately,
that's smart.
dancing appropriately, talking to individuals
Yeah,
appropriately.
that's smart. And I also had a video, but I'm not sure why I tried posting this video on TikTok, but TikTok wouldn't let me post that video. They probably canceled it or something. I'm not sure. But I talked about even women that dress when they go for girls' night out. They dress better than when they go out with their husbands or their boyfriends. I've seen girls that when they go for girls' night out are shut down.
What's
They're-
the definition of better? Like how do they dress with their
like
girlfriend?
sexy. When they go out on girls' night out, they wear their best outfits. Their makeup is on point. They're like they wear their favorite outfit. But when they go with their husband or their boyfriend, they have a sweatpants. Let's go to the bar. Let's go. You know, like I see all the time.
That's weird. If I have a man,
Yeah,
I'm going to
right?
show up.
I don't
No,
know,
but
I
when they
wanna
have
do
a girls' night out, that's when they show up with their girls. They
That's
like wear their
odd.
best outfit and they go out to go.
The only thing I can think of is they're in a competitive mindset. Like,
Mindset.
okay,
Yeah.
With their friends.
with girls,
That
you
they wanna
I want
outdo
to
this
look the
person.
best. That's the only thing that
Okay,
makes sense.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen it a lot. I'm like, I don't understand why that happens, but all right, guys. Well, thank you again. Well, we're sorry we missed out last week for our show. You know, we have a podcast where people have money more than you. It's hard to have them to commit. They have things that they're looking for, so you have to beg them to show up and get the podcast going. But hey, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Wally, Mandy, Freezy, our favorite fine girl Norma on the show, guys. Next week we'll try and commit to at least have a show once a week because I have guys writing and texting me and saying we need to show regularly. So now we are at almost 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, 4,000 in less than a month. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. Comment, like, subscribe below. Let's see your thoughts. Talk about these people. Talk about Norma. Talk about Wally. They're all there all the time. They will respond to you. They will get back to you on your comments and tell you what they think about your comments. So, hey, thank you guys. See you guys next week.